Are you worried that inflation is rising? Well, you should be. Yet we are not in this same level as we were back in 1980, 1981, when we had double-digit inflation rates. This is the voice of Heidie Calero with another interesting economic capsule. Don't forget, those of you who like our capsules, to give us a like in YouTube. The first graph that we are depicting here are the trends in the consumer price index as measured by the Department of Labor, be it in Puerto Rico with the red line, as well as in the US with the blue line. And these says from 1980 through fiscal year 2021. Remember, our fiscal year runs from July 1st through June 30th of 2 calendar years. So these are comparable trends. And notice that we have been sort of stable, but now since 2012, Puerto Rico's inflation rate as measured by the consumer price index seems to be lower, below the US levels. And that is a bit strange since we are surrounded by water and most of what comes to Puerto Rico imported is either by ocean freight or by air freight. So you would expect that would be more expensive since we have to add in also the land transportation. Yet we are below that, but these are the official figures. The small insert that I am depicting in that huge graph, that the first graph that I am depicting there, depicts from 2012 through 2021. And notice the red line is Puerto Rico, and it says that this fiscal year through April of 2021 is negative 0.1%, whereas in the States it's already at the 2% level. Now that is those are the official figures. Let's look now at the second graph, which is highlighting April 2021 compared with April of 2020. Again, the red bars is the US and the blue bar and the red bars, sorry, is Puerto Rico, and the blue bars is the US. Notice that in terms of energy, the US is 25.1%. Compared with April of 2020. In transportation, it's 14.9%. In food, it's 2.4%. Medical care, one of the smallest growing categories, is 1.5%. And all in all, the consumer price index in the States in April is 4.2%. How does that compare with Puerto Rico? Well, it's Puerto Rico is much lower, yet same components are depicting these huge trends. For instance, energy is 10.1%, transportation is 3%, single digits. In food, it's 1.4%, medical care is also low, 0.6%, and overall the consumer price index is 1 percentage point lower than in the States. Finally, let's look at another aspect of why inflation is rising. And this is not just in consumption, durables and non-durables, but also the construction materials. And what we are showing in this third graph are construction commodities as depicted by different indices worldwide. And the commodities that we are showing here are metals, which is the magenta line. Notice that it has been growing at 130% recently, May 2021 compared with May of 2020. In wood, that is lumber, prefabricated wood that also is used in construction, it has risen 91%. Copper, used in all the pipes, it's 63%. And cement, concrete, especially ready mix, is one of the lowest with only 1%, but maybe rising in the near term since energy is also rising as much. So overall, we are seeing construction commodities rising, consumer durables and non-durables also rising, and if you add up in the mix this shortage of labor that we are really in bad need, all speaks to more rising costs and minimum wage increases if not given enough transitory periods, not just 120 days, but maybe 3 years. That could really spike up in prices, and those are not necessarily good news, least of all for Puerto Rico. Until the next capsule, stay safe. Thank you.